Welcome in to News and Views with Tom Lamprecht. The stories you've heard and the ones you need to hear.
What we're doing on the infrastructure side of things.
$3.5 trillion spending.
70% of the president's agenda is on the table here.
Build back better. You cannot tire. You cannot concede.
Crisis after crisis, the Democrats are in disarray.
Democrats wasting money like there's no tomorrow.
This.
Your life, your values, your voice. This is News and Views with Tom Lamprecht on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
All right, welcome in. It is News and Views for a political trivia Thursday, and there is a lot to talk about today. Here in the Greenville area, there was an altercation at one of the high schools this afternoon, D.H. Connolly High School. It was placed, sounds like a semi-lockdown. It wasn't completely not locked down, but there was a ruckus over there this afternoon, and if you're looking online or on Cable 7, you can see we've got some video up. It was sort of a free-for-all in one of the main hallways out in the school at D.H. Connolly. And at one point, you see right there, if you're watching online, you see a officer, one of the resource officers, who, generally speaking, they're a member of the Greenville Police Department or the Sheriff's Department. Anyway, he was knocked down, and a young man was beating on his back. Now, there were earlier reports today that the officer's gun was taken. Apparently, Pitt County Schools says that is incorrect. That did not happen. There was a law enforcement called to the school, and they were there for the rest of the day. No word if anyone actually got hit. It looks like there was a lot of punches thrown and a few people tackled, but it doesn't look like anybody was shedding any blood. So anyway, some young men will likely, maybe young women too, will likely be expelled, and they will be given a little unscheduled vacation from school, no doubt. Go ahead.
That's at least the second, maybe a third time a very similar thing has happened in a school in eastern North Carolina. And I got to believe that, we've had the last 12, 18 months of very little to no supervision for youngsters at home. Mm-hmm. Not to mention, we've had last year and a half of violence and riots across the country where one particular party has been mum on the violence. So, I mean, I'm not justifying what's going on with teenagers, but when they watch on television adults doing it for the last year, getting away with it, our leaders not denouncing it, or at least half of our leaders not denouncing it.
Well, isn't it interesting that just yesterday we had that story about, and Governor Cooper talking about how there is the lack of civility, thank you very much, at some of these school board meetings. And he was saying, well, the kids are watching, parents, the kids are watching. Let's make sure we're on good behavior. You're right. The kids are watching, and they're saying that bad behavior doesn't get punished.
Yeah, and the kids were watching last summer when downtown Raleigh businesses could not be open, and the governor sat in his governor's mansion and did nothing about it.
Good point.
News
and Observer's reporting today, our friend Keith Kidwell went back onto the North Carolina House floor and made a speech. Thanks supporters for their prayers and support. Quote, as I'm sure you all know, my wife and I both contracted COVID, Kidwell told fellow lawmakers yesterday. After about 16 days, we were actually starting to feel better, but suddenly both of us started to encounter some breathing issues long after the virus was actually done, and we ended up in the hospital with pneumonia. I spent about 3 days there, and my wife was there for about a week. She was in far worse condition. We both recovered and ended up at home, he said. Kidwell said he received wonderful messages and prayers from just about everybody at the legislative building on both sides of the aisle and both chambers. I did note, though, after a couple of days, we started getting posts on Facebook that were wishing my wife and I would die. They used various reasons to wish us this ill, from being Trump supporters to being too fat. Listen, Keith Kidwell's a gentleman. And if you came up to Keith and harassed him and said, I wish you died because you're too fat, I actually think Keith would probably, being the gentleman that he is, would turn around and walk away. But if you said that to his wife, I think you'd be picking yourself off the floor, missing a few front teeth.
He'd at least tie you in a square knot.
Listen, Keith is a big man, and I mean and I'm not saying that in an insulting way.
No, you shake his hands, it's like he's shaking a
Yes.
guy with a catcher's mitt on.
Yes. Keith could knock you into next week. And again, I think he'd be a gentleman if you were talking about him. You talk about his wife. I don't think so.
My dad always tell me, don't mess with a man that's got a hand like a catcher's mitt.
He does. I would love to see some of these people that said this on social media come and say it to Keith's face. I don't think you would be quite as bold if you were face to face with. And listen, Keith Kidwell is the nicest guy you'd ever want to meet. He is the friendliest, generous, nicest guy you'd ever want to meet. But I would not go messing with Keith Kidwell. Anyway, getting on with the story, Keith, in front of the fellow legislators yesterday, said, well, you know what? Those people that identified themselves, we looked up to see which party they were. And apparently, 100% across the board, these people that said, we wish you would die, and a few other nasty remarks, they were all Democrats.
Not surprising.
And listen, I thought they was the tolerant party, right? I thought, we were supposed to listen to them because they were so tolerant. Live and let live, right? No, and apparently not. He said, here's what I want to tell you. He said, the vile and nasty comments came from one group of people. Don't take this personal. It's not directed at you, he said to House Democrats, but all these nasty grams came from Democrats. Anyway, Keith, we are glad you and your wife are back to good health. And although Keith's wife is still, say a little prayer for her, she still has a few issues yet. But Keith is back to work up in Raleigh. Fox News is reporting Republican Representative Nancy Mace of South Carolina and James Comer of Kentucky are demanding the Department of Defense provide information about the Marine officer who was jailed after speaking out against President Biden's Afghanistan withdrawal. The letter sent to Secretary Lloyd Austin gives the Defense Department exactly 1 week to brief the Committee on Oversight and Reform about the court-martial of Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller we've been talking about the last couple of days, which they argue may be politically motivated and a possible attempt to silence further whistleblowers. You know, that is a great point, that when you stop and think about it, you know, if this was on the other foot, if this was the other way around, and this was a liberal member of the military going against Donald Trump, he would be hailed as a whistleblower that needs to be, you know, venerated, elevated, whatever aided, and, you know, he would be considered just a real hero. But because it's going against Joe Biden and his administration, not so much. His superior officers subsequently relieved him of command. The Republicans wrote he was later incarcerated and placed in pretrial confinement at Camp Lejeune here in North Carolina, down in Jacksonville. Do you have the charges? They came out with the charges today, right?
Well, not yet. I cannot find anything online yet, but where did this come from, Clark?
Marine that does YouTube videos explaining the whole thing. He's a legit Marine, and he's phenomenal.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a hearing today, but I cannot find anything's been listed yet. But it says that currently Scheller faces no charges under Uniform Code of Military Justice. The general nature of the offenses, so he's just speculating, and I've seen some other people speculate about these charges at an Article 32 hearing. Contempt towards officials, willfully disobeying superior commissioned officer, and failure to obey a general lawful order, and conduct unbecoming of an officer and gentleman.
Although, you know, he spoke clearly, but he didn't speak against his superior officers. He questioned them, but
yeah,
it was, and I guess you just can't question them. I don't know, but
well, that's certainly conduct unbecoming. I know that would fall under that. But if he was specifically told by, you know, a commanding officer not to do that,
and he did it,
then he's disobeying an order.
But again, if this was on the other foot,
not to do that, then he's.
If this was the other way around,
That sounded so good I wanted to listen to it again, I guess.
If this was the other way around, he would be hailed as a hero and a whistleblower. If this was a liberal officer speaking against the Trump administration.
Well, you take Lieutenant Colonel Vindman. Lieutenant Colonel Vindman.
Or Milley.
Yeah. But Lieutenant Colonel Vindman he was serving just like Milley, but he's the one that testified in the Trump impeachment hearings about the, quote, phone call that he didn't hear, that he heard about.
Yep.
So, I don't see the difference.
He was hailed as a hero. It's
the funny thing to me, well, it's not funny. It's not by coincidence that in a couple of days that Milley and Austin and McKenzie was to testify before Congress, they locked him up and put him in the brig.
Yeah.
And put a gag order on him.
Yeah.
So
the same day.
Yeah. That's kind of interesting to me.
Well, they sent this letter to Lloyd Austin, and Lloyd Austin in the past has basically shot the bird at Congress, saying, no, I'm not going to come. Now, he was there Monday and Tuesday before the Senate and the House, but will he answer this letter in a timely manner? I wouldn't hold my breath. Anyway, by the way, the parents of the Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller have just asked for prayer for their son, and that would be a good thing.
They were on with Laura Ingraham last night, his parents.
Did not see that.
And they basically have no contact with them, has not been charged with anything, and he was only outside phone call allowed was to the council. I think his council's out of Fayetteville, I believe, which is a former Army officer, I think.
It is a little odd that you would be put in solitary confinement for this.
Yeah.
I'm not. This is well beyond my pay grade. I'm not familiar with it. It just appears to me to be a little overkill that you would put an individual in for solitary confinement, unless your motivation was we want to make sure he has no ability to communicate with anybody else.
Well, that's probably the real motivation, but they'll probably have some psychological evaluation of him that's been done that says he was a danger to himself or something. I can just see that coming. They've got a story, I can tell you.
Fox Business News is reporting the House and the Senate today passed a short-term funding bill that staved off government shutdown and ensured funding to resettle thousands of Afghan refugees. In a vote 65-35 in the Senate, they approved funding that would provide. Now, I thought that when I first saw this, okay, they just want to keep the government going. Not going to spend anything new. They just want to make sure that we continue to be able to pay the bills that we've already committed to. No. They've added $6.3 billion for Afghan resettlement, along with making sure that we can pay all of our other bills through December the 3rd. Quote, this is a good outcome, one I'm happy that we're getting done. That from Chuckles the Clown Schumer. He said that on the Senate floor. With so many things happening in Washington, the last thing the American people need is for the government to grind to a halt. That's all you need to know. If he thinks this is a good outcome, if Grandpa Munster likes it, then it must be bad. Just saying.
I think it's probably a good thing if the government came grinding to a halt. They can't do any worse. You know?
Exactly. They would stop spending money. That clock that spins so fast that you can't keep up with it, the amount of money we spend every second, to see that come to a grinding halt, that would be nice. Now, it wouldn't come to a grinding halt, though, because the interest still compounds.
Yeah, I remember where the big deal was, gosh, we're going to be $10 trillion in debt. Now we're, over 30.
I'll sound a lot older than that. I can remember the first time I think the total budget went over $10 billion, and everybody was aghast. And listen, that wasn't, you thought, what was that, back in the 1800s? No, that was like back in the 1970s.
You're old.
I am old. 5618255. You say we got Sutton on the line? Yeah. Sutton, how are you, sir? I haven't heard from you for a while. Good to hear from you.
I am 5618255.
Okay, you got to turn your radio down, Sutton. All right, let's go to a commercial break, and we come back. We'll get Sutton on the line. We'll see if Clark can straighten out Sutton, get his radio down. Lots to talk about, and we've got political trivia coming up. We've got a great prize package, And your category, states. Okay? We'll play in a little bit. Stay with us.
And we're on location at one of my favorite places on the whole planet because this is some of the best food you're ever going to eat in your life. We are at Nino's on Red Banks Road in Greenville. It's one of my hangouts. It's one of the places that I love. I got my friend Pietro Pasalacqua. How'd I do?
You did great.
Let's talk about the food. What makes this place? I know it's special Italian from authentic Italians, but tell us why it's so special.
Because everything we do, it's really what we came up on the menu from what we did at home, from my grandparents, my parents. So it's exactly what we eat at home, and that's what the way we cook. That's why it's special.
And the atmosphere in this place is special also. From the bar to the two dining areas. You got two different dining areas, and now the weather's nice, so there's going to be a lot of folks that want to eat outside.
Yeah, we have two rooms. One room is designed a little different. We're also working on the patio to make it more attractive and more useful in the summer with a cocktail service. And we're always improving our services.
And, of course, my friends here, my buddy, Chef Massimo, who I love, and Sal and Pietro, you guys do a great job here. Not just Italian, but I had a great pork chop here the other night. You got great steaks, too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're also adding filet mignon in the future on our menu. And Massimo is coming out with a really good side dishes for it. And so we're really excited to come out with new meats and fish dishes.
All right, Nino's on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Same people that give you Marabello's and the great pizza that you get at Marabello's, but this is fine dining at Nino's. If you haven't been here, you don't know what you're missing. Come see them at Nino's on Red Banks Road. And Pietro, what is that famous saying about Nino's?
The food that you enjoy with people that you love.
Hi, I'm Richard Langley, and after helping my grandmother with an iPad she received as a gift, I realized how many other older adults may also have challenges with their own technology.
Happy Grandma specializes in helping with any tech issue you may be experiencing. Whether it's setting up a new computer or TV, having issues with the printer or Wi-Fi, or showing you how to use your tech, we want to help you. To make it easier, we come directly to you with a smile on our face.
When tech gets tough.
When tech gets tough.
When tech gets tough.
When tech gets tough, get happy.
Happy Grandma Senior Tech Support.
Living easy is the sound of children laughing as you make memories with neighbors and friends. It's the sound of nothing at all. It's the smell of the salt air. Hear the waters against the marsh grass. See the beauty of our coast. Bow Coast, located in Beaufort, North Carolina. Southern Living's best small town.
This is your Drive at 5 and ENC with Tom Lamprecht. Welcome back to News and Views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Welcome back in. Taking a quick look at your weather forecast. More good weather coming in. By the way, did you notice it rained last night in the middle of the night?
It actually woke me up.
Yeah.
It sure did.
I got up like at 3 a.m. and had to go bring the cushions in off the porch because it was rain. It came out of nowhere.
I didn't know where you were going there for a second.
Anyway, but I don't think we're getting any more rain. And
looks
tonight,
pretty dry until next week, I think.
Tonight, mostly clear tonight, around 58. Tomorrow, beautiful sunny day, high of 79. Tomorrow night, low around 58 and clear. And repeat Saturday and Sunday. So good-looking weather coming up for the weekend. Sunday is going to get a little warm, though. Sunday will get up around 86.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Be a good day this weekend to hit Ironwood.
It would. Speaking of which, if you want to go play golf, Ironwood has been voted best golf course in Greenville 2 years in a row. Ironwood Golf and Country Club boasts an 18-hole Lee Trevino design course, full-service dining, outdoor pool, tennis, and more. The pool's shut down for the winter. Our newly renovated 15,000-square-foot clubhouse is the perfect place to make new traditions with your family. By the way, a lot of weddings out there, and it is a gorgeous venue for your wedding. Give them a call. Ask about any of this stuff, joining up, having a wedding, coming out, and just touring the place for yourself. See if you want to be a part of Ironwood. Give them a call, 252-752-4653. Be a part of what makes Greenville a fun place to live. That's Ironwood Golf and Country Club, 252-752-4653. 561-8255. Let's go to Stella. We have Ken on the line. Hey, Ken.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, how you doing?
We're doing well. Good to hear from you.
Weather is great. You're absolutely right. But you've opened the proverbial can of worms here. I got so many things going on, I can't even figure out what I want to talk about.
It's a big day, big news.
A big day, and we cover a lot of stories. We don't mess around. We try to get as many stories into the hours
well,
as we can.
I want to know why the military is going after this colonel and General Manili, whatever his name is. You know, he just seems to be skating through like all the Democrats do, and nobody's paying attention to him. Even our Republicans, they ought to be out there every day beating up on that guy, you know?
Well, I don't understand why it was only two Republicans, Nancy Mace of South Carolina and James Comer of Kentucky, were the so far. Now, maybe there'll be others that jump on this, but why those are the only two that are demanding an answer from Lloyd Austin and the Defense Department? I would think they would be lined up.
Yeah, a friend of mine had a text message conversation with Greg Murphy yesterday, and Greg told him, from what I understand, that he was going to pursue this issue with the colonel to get him released. And I was very hopeful I would hear something from him today based on his comments. But I guess they're trying to still get their ducks lined up or something. I don't know. But every Republican should be out there trying to get this guy off the hook, and they ought to be demanding to see the transcript from the general who was talking to the Chinese
Milley,
without informing his commander-in-chief.
Yeah. Well, and you talk about, and again, we've talked about this numerous times, but what Milley did was a clear violation of Article 94 of the UCMJ, which basically talks in great detail about the accusation of mutiny and sedition. And what he did was going over the president's head, going around his back, and what might even be more nefarious than talking to the adversary like he did was obviously terrible, but the idea that he went to other officers and said, do not follow any commands that you might receive until you consult with me. Well, the only command that would be higher than Milley would be the President of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, he clearly has acted in a mutinous and with sedition.
Yeah, and with military procedure, you know, your complaints and concerns go up; they don't go down. And the only place they could go, the only place for Milley they could go is to the president.
Yeah,
you know, you don't complain. You don't complain to your major about the order you got from your colonel.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's an advisor to the president. He's not in any other position other than that, and yet he violated, his oath, and he violated the Constitution by going around the president to do what he did. And so far, the Republicans are letting him off the hook. They ought to be out there every day, 10 times a day, talking about this guy and what he did that was in violation, but they're not. They're quiet.
Well, no, there was
the hell out of me.
Well, if you listen to the hearings, there were a number of Republicans that were quite forceful in their questioning of all three, Milley, McKenzie, and Lloyd Austin.
Josh Hawley was Josh Hawley and Ben Sass. I don't like Ben Sass on many issues, but Ben Sass was pretty tough on him, and also what's his name, Matt Gaetz from Florida, that seems to have his own issues going on. He was pretty tough on him.
Yeah, for sure. Hey Ken, thanks for the phone call. We got others waiting, so I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Ken.
561-8255. Let's go to Craig. Is it Craig in Swansboro? Hey, Craig.
Hey, Craig.
Hey, it's Craig. going back to the colonel in the brig, and not to name drop, but I know his attorney. I went to college with him.
Really?
And this guy, yep, he's going to go scorched earth on this thing. You watch. This is the guy who represented all those oil rig workers that got blown up in the Gulf.
Yeah.
He is going to go scorched earth. He's a Force Recon Marine himself. So get your popcorn ready because this is going to get ugly.
What do you think? Do you have you been in contact with your friend?
No, but I'm friends with him on Facebook.
If you can get a hold of, I'm sure he can't. I'm sure he's limited in what he can discuss. But love to get him on the air. If you can get in touch with him and get a hold of our producer, get a phone number for it. We'd love to have him come on and talk to us about how he's going to approach this.
It'd do wonders for the ratings.
Well,
that'd just be fascinating to talk to him.
If you get him on the radio, you want to make sure you have the beep button ready to go.
Well, we are on a 7-second delay.
Yeah.
So, and Clark's pretty quick on the dump button. So appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep. You bet.
Thanks, Craig.
561-8255. Josh in Bath. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, guys. In the course of doing some independent investigation on the budget bill and the infrastructure, there are different watchdog groups that have already added all this up, and one of those is an accounting group. Now, if anybody knows math, taxes, budgeting, it's probably a group of accountants. And what they are saying is that separate from what Biden has already built into the IRS in his building up and funneling, targeted taxation into the new IRS codes, the inflation and the new proposed budgets and all these spending increases have guaranteed basically at least a 3% increase to every single person's income tax rate for the year of 2022. Now, that's just 2022. What they are expecting is that you can count on at least a 3% to 4% increase each year leading up to 2026. Now, I have no secrets about my income. I'm about a 12% across the board tax bracket. What this would effectively do by the time we get to vote on it in 2024 would double my tax rate.
Well, the scary thing about this whole $3.5 trillion, which, by the way, the accountants, again, are coming back and saying, well, you know what, that's for starters. It's probably going to be more like $6.5 trillion at the end of the day. But one of the scariest things about it is all the other things that they want to add to it, like hiring, I think it was 87,000 new IRS agents, 87,000.
Mm-hmm.
And every time, now I don't think this is going to go through because I don't think the banks are going to put up with it, but they want every time you withdraw $600.
A $600 deposit or transaction will be reported to the IRS.
Actually, and that's not even transactions, that's residing money as well. So what he wants to do is require the banks to report any account amount that is over $600. So if you have more than $600 in your account and you are flagged as being in contravention of any executive branch or legislative branch mandate, they will take that money above that amount out of your account using the IRS.
Unbelievable. Well, what's even scarier about this is if, based on where we have been as a nation in our judicial system, this would never cut it. You'd get to the Supreme Court and they'd say, you can't do that, it's unconstitutional. But you watch. In fact, we talked about this yesterday in the North Carolina Supreme Court, where you have the Democrats basically saying that two of the Republicans have to recuse themselves from the tax cap that the citizens of North Carolina passed overwhelmingly, and the voter ID. You're going to see more and more as this goes forward that in the judicial branch, they're going to do their best to try to negate the rule of law. And they're going to do everything they can just to remove anybody that would get in their way, vilify them. There's stories out today about Kristi Noem and trying to vilify her. Of course, she's being considered as a VP if Trump runs again. She and Tim Scott. Well, you watch the media go after both those people. You watch the media go after anything that would get in the way of this agenda by these crazy progressives.
Well, kind of as a side topic of this with Governor DeSantis, they've been all over him for the last 4 or 5 weeks about what Florida's doing with COVID. They're killing people. He don't care about. Their numbers have dropped dramatically.
Yep.
They're like in the bottom 7 states in America now with COVID numbers. You cannot find it.
Yeah,
on the news.
They won't report that.
I mean, it's so obvious what's going on.
Hey, Josh.
I think it would also be a good idea for somebody to ask the Democrats if they remember what happened when we had taxation without representation.
Yeah, will the American people? I hope the American people would rise up again. I hope. I have to admit to you, Josh. Sometimes I wonder. There's too many people that are willing to sit back on their fannies.
But here's the deal: in 2020, 39% paid taxes, 61% did not. The highest number of all time. When the majority don't have skin in the game, they're not going to complain about a whole lot.
Yeah. Yep. Who was it? Was it Alexander that said, when they can figure out they can take goodies out of the public coffers, we're done basically as a republic. So, Josh, good call. Sorry to end it on a negative note there. Rhonda in Edenton. Hey, Rhonda.
Hey, Rhonda.
Hi. How are you all doing?
Doing well. Hope you're doing well.
I am so grateful for your show. If we ever lose conservative talk radio, we're done. But anyway, Stu Scheller, first of all, I've already gone to Pipe Hitter Foundation and made my little tiny contribution.
Good for you.
I was very happy to see in the last 24 hours since hearing his parents on Glenn Beck and Mark Levin, his fund has gone up $1 million, and most of those contributions may be like $25. So way to go.
That is a great testimony. I mean, not only is it a great testimony as $1 million, but most of them are from $25 donations.
Like little, $25 to $100. It's amazing. People are rallying, and they're doing what little they can, and I'm so grateful for that because God bless his parents. It breaks my heart. And then something I'm really interested in, the Clintons, Obamas, and Bushes announced on September 11th that they were joining Welcome.us, creating a nonprofit to help resettle Afghans in the United States.
Yep.
And they are teaming up with the Chamber of Commerce, a variety of businesses, possibly George Soros, the governor of Maryland, the governor of Colorado, and then all of a sudden we're seeing billions of dollars lavished on those helping resettlement in the United States. I'd really love it if they'd reach in their own pockets and go out and fundraise. I buy Girl Scout cookies every year. People used to go out, and if they had a cause, parents go out with their kids and all, and they raise their own money, and they really work hard on the things they believe in. Now they just go shake down the government, and it's really a sad commentary on our country.
It is, Rhonda. And listen, when George Soros, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, the governor of Colorado, the governor of Maryland, who I know he's a Republican, but boy, if there was ever a definition of a rhino, he's it. When they get involved,
George Bush and his wife.
Well, and yeah, that's a huge disappointment too. But what I was going to say, when you have those individuals that I was just mentioning get involved in something like this, listen, it's not for some noble, kind, beneficial, charitable work. There is an underlying cause and motivation, and it ain't good.
They're afraid that the ruling class is under attack after Trump won. They don't like the Joe public out here having control.
Yeah, and by the way, you're right. George W. and Laura Bush is it's just like, oh, what have they been drinking? Hey, listen, let's lighten things up. Let's play a little political trivia, shall we? Got a great prize package, 561-8255. Your category, states. Got a good prize package, and the phone lines are open, 561-8255. Political trivia when we get back.
Your trade is in high demand. That means your trade-in value has never been hotter. Get to Greenville Toyota now. We'll pay more for your trade than ever before. Get cash on the spot, even if you don't buy from us. At Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
Sawyer's Fun Park in Winterville is now open. With over 40,000 square feet of family fun, daily money-saving deals, and a full-service restaurant, Sawyer's Fun Park is guaranteed to have something the whole family will love. Test your ninja skills on our 2-story obstacle course or head over to one of our 5 rock walls and race your friends to the top. And when you've worked up an appetite in our laser tag arena or our one-of-a-kind ropes course, grab a table over at the restaurant and try our world-famous Southern Monster Fries. Reserve your spot today at SawyersFunPark.com and come join in on the fun.
My name is Dr. Neeti Armistead, Chief Medical Officer for Vidant Health. The following simple steps will help keep you and your community safe. Stay home as much as possible, wear a mask when out in public, avoid large gatherings, practice social distancing, and wash hands often. It's also important not to delay needed care. Vidant has taken important steps to provide you and your family with a safe environment. Learn more about COVID-19 and Vidant's response. Call 252-847-8000 or visit vidanthealth.com/COVID-19.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
All right, let's play political trivia, shall we? 561-8255. Got a couple lines open. 561-8255. Your category today, states. Prize package includes a free oil change for your car or pickup at Dave Davis's East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep or at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. A gift certificate from Fit for Life, including 2 free training sessions with a coach. A $20 gift card to Mucho Bueno for lunch or dinner. Mucho Bueno, real Mexican street food located in front of the Westbrook Shopping Center, US 70 West in Havelock. A $20 gift card to Gwendy's Goodies Bakery in Aden. Delicious baked from scratch made goodies. They are good goodies. Also a gift card to University PC Care and a gift card to Ironwood Golf Course. Remember, if you or anyone in your immediate family has won in the last 60 days, well, you need to wait 60 days until you play again. First up, in New Bern. Is it Mike we're going to first? Mike in New Bern.
Hey, Mike.
Mike, you with us? Okay. Everything. Hey, is this Mike?
Yes, it is.
All right, Mike. Congratulations. What happened to our music? Our music just disappeared.
I'm supposed to be second.
Well, Mike, you're #1. Hey, you're number 1.
That's all right. Yeah, that's what my wife keeps telling me with the wrong finger.
That's a good one, Mike.
Let's keep it PG here, Mike. Here's your question. Your category is states. Question: what is unique to the state of Maine? No other state can make this claim. This is something that Maine has had the bragging rights to since it became a state, and so far, no one has taken away this unique distinction so far. What is it?
Partially Canadian.
No, that's not it. But it's a good guess. 561-8255. Let's go to Gary. Hey, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Did you hear the question?
I heard the question. I'm gonna take a stab at it because I'm really clueless on this. But I'm gonna say the most fishing lobster.
Well, they have a lot of lobster, but they're not the only one.
Yeah, but that's the best I could come up with. Sorry.
All right, no, good guess. 561-8255. Ernie, is it?
Yeah, Ernie from Emerald Isle.
Ernie from Emerald Isle. Hey, Ernie.
Well,
what do you think?
You just spoke to one of my best friends, Gary from Oriental.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's a small world.
However, I'm going to one-up them. The people in Maine are the first people to see the sun.
First people to see. Okay.
To see the sun in the morning. They are the first people to see the sunrise.
Well, are they because they're so far north? In the middle of the winter, would they be later?
Well, no. Check it out.
All right. Well, you know what? We're going to give you honorable mention, but that's not the answer we're looking for.
Okay.
Thank you for being a good sport. Let's go back to We've got Carlton on the line. Hey, Carlton.
Hey, Carlton.
Hey there.
Yes. What do you think? You want a hint? Carlton.
I don't even know what the question is.
Oh, well, all right. Let me give you the question. What is unique to the state of Maine? No other state can make this claim. It's something that Maine has had the bragging rights to since it became a state. And so far, no other state has taken this unique distinction away. Here's your first hint. Iowa, Texas, Kansas, Vermont, and Utah come close, but not quite. Iowa, Texas, Kansas, New York, Vermont, Utah come close, but not quite.
I have no clue.
Take a wild guess. Hello, crickets. 561-8255.
I don't know. I know silence is bad for radio. I have no idea.
Okay. 561-8255. Yeah. Let's go to Bradley. Hey, Bradley.
Hey, Bradley.
Hey, Tom. How y'all doing?
Doing well. Did you hear the question?
Good. I did.
You want another
hint? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, here you go. What's unique to the state of Maine? If Guam were to ever become a state, it would remove this distinction from Maine.
I'm going to guess it has 5 letters in its name.
Boy, you are warm. You are really warm, and you're really on the right track, okay? You have given somebody else a great hint. You are really, really on the right track, and you're warm. 561-8255. That's the best hint that has come along. Let's go to Mike. Hey, Mike.
Hey, how y'all doing, Tom?
Good. What do you think? What's
Good.
unique to the state of Maine?
I thought I had the answer you wanted, but now I don't think so. I believe Maine is the only state that splits their electoral votes.
No, Nebraska does too. That's a good guess. I actually had to look that up because I thought that was so, but Nebraska does too. 561-8255. Let's go to Doug. Hey, Doug.
Yeah, I'm not sure either now.
Now, let's say you all are making it overly complicated, okay? You all are making it overly complicated. Maine is the only state with this. Guam would take it away. And as one of the callers said, there's the only state with 5 letters. That's not it, but that was really close. That's on the right track. What do you think?
Got the only letters with 3 vowels in it?
No, but you're on the right track. 561-8255. Who else we got? Let's go to James. Hey, James.
Hey, James.
About ready to give it away.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. What do you think?
Oh, I already know what the answer is, and I'm pretty confident of it.
All right.
Maine is the only state with one syllable to its name.
You got it! Congratulations, James. That is it. Maine is the only state name with 1 syllable. Where are you calling from?
Greenville.
All right, James. Hang on. We're going to get your information. We got a boatload of goodies. Stay with us because Benny and I will be right back.
All right.
Your trade is in high demand. That means your trade-in value has never been hotter. Get to Greenville We'll pay more for your trade than ever before. Get cash on the spot, even if you don't buy from us. At Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
Sawyer's Fun Park in Winterville is now open. With over 40,000 square feet of family fun, daily money-saving deals, and a full-service restaurant, Sawyer's Fun Park is guaranteed to have something the whole family will love. Test your ninja skills on our 2-story obstacle course or head over to one of our 5 rock walls and race your friends to the top. And when you've worked up an appetite in our laser tag arena or our one-of-a-kind ropes course, grab a table over at the restaurant and try our world-famous Southern Monster Fries. Reserve your spot today at SawyersFunPark.com and come join in on the fun.
My name is Dr. Neeti Armistead, Chief Medical Officer for Vidant Health. The following simple steps will help keep you and your community safe. Stay home as much as possible, wear a mask when out in public, avoid large gatherings, practice social distancing, and wash hands often. It's also important not to delay needed care. Vidant has taken important steps to provide you and your family with a safe environment. Learn more about COVID-19 and Vidant's response. Call 252-847-8000 or visit vidanthealth.com/COVID-19.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
Ride shotgun with your 5 o'clock drive.
Well, the drive home should be a delight.
This is Tom Lamprecht with more news and views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Welcome back in. James Gray got our political trivia question right from Greenville, North Carolina. James figured it out. Maine is the only one-syllable name of all the 50 states. But if Guam became a state, that would be a one-syllable name.
It's a beautiful state this time of year, too.
That's true.
It's a cold state.
Yeah, it's starting to get pretty cold, but it's last couple of weeks it's been their fall.
Yeah. Well, and then they got a nice summer in July for like 2 days.
Speaking of weather, my favorite place that I vacationed in Idaho, today was a high of 66 and sunny. Tonight, a low of 19.
Woo! And that's why you went in the summertime.
Yeah.
Joe Manchin. Oh, by the way, I did want to mention this, too. We heard from one of our listeners who is in the know and related to the lieutenant colonel in the brig down at Camp Lejeune. And we don't want to mention any names, and I don't want to get too specific, but he was basically saying some of these charges are indeed over the top and probably out of order. So it's going to be interesting to follow this thing. Joe Manchin came out today and basically said he and Sinema did too as well, just sort of doubled down and just said, I am not going to budge on this $3.5 trillion package. The other thing that he said too is he will not consider this if the Hyde Amendment is removed. If this bill removes the Hyde Amendment, which is the federal funding for abortion. Apparently Joe Manchin is very much pro-life. So it's going to be interesting to see. Do you have that cut two with Joe Manchin? Here was Joe Manchin from earlier today talking about, okay, if I'm not going to get behind this $3.5 trillion bill, you better go out and campaign for it.
I've never been a liberal
in any way, shape, or the form. There's no one has ever thought I was. I've been governor, I've been state secretary of state, I've been state legislature, I've been a U.S. senator, and I have voted pretty consistently all my whole life. I don't fault any of them who believe that they're much more progressive and much more liberal. God bless them. And all they need to do is we have to elect more, I guess, for them to get theirs, elect more liberals.
There you go. I've not ever thought of him as a progressive liberal, but I don't know how you can be a Democrat and not say that you're not a liberal.
Well, and I got a lot of friends that would have that same attitude here in North Carolina, but folks, your party has left you. Joe Manchin, your party has left you. I mean,
why would you want to be associated with that?
It's but he said God bless him. I was thinking, well, no, I won't go there. But
please, let's keep it PG. We're pushing the envelope here.
No, but he surprised me. I really thought he was going to cave, just because.
Well, it's not over yet.
It's not over yet, but then again, if he keeps doing this, he's the most powerful man in America. Really.
Well, he and Sinema, and so far they haven't caved. I pray that they don't. This whole thing is an ugly, ugly mess. And, boy, you talk about a house of cards if this were to go through. Hey, listen, thanks for being with us today. Continue to pray for the lieutenant colonel who's down in the brig in Jacksonville. And we're going to take a little R&R. We're going to be off for the next 6 weekdays. We'll be back again on Monday, October the 11th. Anyway, have a good week. And Benny and I will see you in, 9 days from now?
Something like
that. So we'll see you then. Thanks for being with us. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right.
We're on location at Fabric and Home Furnishings, and I'm back with my friend Lisa Pendry. And Lisa's been telling me about all the great renovations that have been going on here in the store, and I've been looking around, and it looks fantastic. Tell us what you've done here.
Well, we've knocked some walls down, we've painted, we've added some new vendors, lots of new exciting things going on. So we're making room for everybody to get what they need to transform their homes.
Looks fantastic in here. Last time we talked, you were saying that you were able to deliver a lot faster than most other furniture stores. Is that still the case?
It is. It's changed a little bit, but we're still looking at around 8 to 10 week delivery, and we do sell our floor samples right off the floor.
All right, we always say that Fabric and Home Furnishings is more than just a fabric store, so tell us what the more is all about. What when people come in, what should they expect?
Well, we love to get to know our customers. I have the best crew I've ever had, and everybody on my team is an interior designer. So we offer in-home design service, which we always have, but now they can each come out to your home after they work with you in here, figure out what's going on in your residence or your commercial property to pull it together and help you make everything beautiful.
You got great folks here.
I do.
I can tell you, I haven't gotten to know them. It's like a family when you come in here, and everybody gets along well, and you can tell that these guys and gals really know what they're talking about when it comes to interior design.
They do, and that's really what makes us different. We offer complete in-home design service. We don't charge a by-the-hour fee. It's a flat one-time fee. We work with you in here, in your home, in your business, and help pull everything together.
All right, it's more than just a fabric store. Fabric and Home Furnishings in Arlington Village. Come see this lady. She's fantastic. Fabric and Home Furnishings. Come see the renovations here in Arlington Village. And thank you for the visit today.
Thank you, Henry.
All right, you got to come see what they've done in the store here on Arlington Boulevard in Arlington Village.